This is Colourful Radio.
Our music, our
news,
our
views.
Right now, I am joined by Mark Simpson. Mark Simpson is an author, publisher, and artist who co-founded Black History Studies with his wife, Charmaine. Knowledge is power, and together they work tirelessly to highlight our history through different mediums. By educating communities, they in turn enable people to educate themselves. Hello, Mark. How are you doing today?
I'm good, sis. Thank you for having me on. It's all good.
Oh, good. Well, I'm happy you were able to join me today. You know, Black History Month is such an important topic, and I'm glad that you are here because I view you as an expert, Mark.
Oh, well,
I've heard you speak many times. I'm actually glad that you're here today. So why did you decide to set up Black History Studies?
Well, the main reason why we set up Black History Studies is because about 14, 15 years ago, me and my wife did a course and we loved it so much, we did it again. And we loved it so much, we did it again. So we did the same course 3 times.
Wow.
And then we said to ourselves, not enough people know this information. So we need to get it out to the wider audience, to the wider people. So I was made redundant and I took my redundancy money and put it all into the business, and the rest is history, as they say.
Brilliant.
So basically our ethos is educating the community to educate themselves. That's our mission statement. Any means necessary, if we want to use the words of Brother Malcolm X, meaning that we do it using all different types of mediums, i.e. presentations, film screenings, long courses, short courses, tours abroad, museum tours, and publishing. We publish books as well.
Brilliant.
Yeah.
So whilst in your own search and research, what has been the most fascinating thing you have found out about our history?
The most fascinating thing that I found out about our history is that 90% of world history is Black history. And the other 10%, Black people had something to do with it.
Wow.
Yeah, in a nutshell. So, everything you see, the disappointing thing is not a lot of people know that. Yeah. There is this notion that our history started with slavery and, you know, before slavery we were nothing.
Yeah.
And a lot of people don't realize that our history ended with slavery. And at the moment we're going through the reconnaissance. Can I say reconnaissance? No, we're going through a bad period of us as a people, and we need to go back to the original values. Yeah.
Do you think that's because we're still stuck in a slavery kind of era and
most
the impact
definitely.
and the hurt of that era, and we're still trying to maybe go around in circles really just to understand what happened, and the pain of it makes us go round and round, but we actually really need to just try and heal through it now?
Yeah, definitely. There was never any consultation put on for us after the enslavement period. There wasn't no healing process or nothing. So and the funny thing is, the majority of us don't know this. We think we see it and we think that's how it is. No, it wasn't like that. Back in the day, we were doing great things, and that's where I aim to get our people back to.
And when you do your short courses and long courses, do you find that many people are shocked at what they are learning through Black History Studies?
Most definitely. We in terms of the long course, I'll deal with the long course because the short courses deal with all of the short courses deal with history. So we deal with history on the short courses, but the short courses are between 5 and 7 weeks depending on what we're teaching. The long course is a 30-week course. It's a 30-week program from January to September. We have half terms and stuff like that to break it up a bit. But in the 30-week course, we don't only deal with history, we deal with Black studies as well. So for the first 12 weeks, we deal with the history from the beginning, going back 7 million years to the enslavement period. And then after that, we deal with psychology, sociology, science and technology, art, music and religion, and everything is from a Black perspective. Not the stuff that you would learn at school, basically.
And do you see the value of what you're teaching if it was able to be on the national curriculum?
Oh, most definitely. But it contradicts what is taught on the national curriculum as well. So that's why we do get invited into schools but we're marginalized in what we have to do. They bring us in to do specific things. Yeah, we go into the prison system as well, and that's really good, because when you see the looks on the people's faces when they're getting this information, you can see that they're inspired by it. So it's really good. In terms of the courses, we've been doing the courses for the last 7 years. I would say about 900 people have passed through our doors in terms of students. And the reaction from some of them are Africans from the continent, and when they start the course, they have their European name, and by the time they finish the course, they've gone back to their original African name.
Wow.
That's the biggest change that we've seen in some of the students that pass through our doors. So absolutely fantastic, and that's what inspires me and keeps us going.
So the theme today is self-awareness, with the focus on knowing your history to know yourself. So the fact that he, after the course, went back and
it was a she, actually.
It was a she. Sorry,
yeah.
Went back and decided to embrace, a name off where she was from. I think that's absolutely brilliant.
Yeah, she changed completely. I'm not going to mention her name, obviously, but she changed completely. Even the way she dressed, the way because she used to have extensions in. She says, "I'm going natural now," and everything, and called me by my African name. I was like, wow. And she said that's all down to us and the information that we've passed on.
And it's about a self-acceptance, I guess, of who you really are.
Exactly.
And this is my point. It's really difficult to know who you really are if you have limited information, and if you do not, if you do not self-inquire. So if you don't do a self-audit on yourself, where you're asking yourself all these questions, your want to go out and find more information may not. What does Black History Month in particular mean to you?
Black History Month is. What it means to me is the fact that it's good. It should never be scrapped, because I've heard these arguments that is it relevant? Is it worth it? It's definitely relevant. And what it means to me, it means that at this time of year, Black History Studies is very busy, because we get hired in to do lots of stuff. But on top of that, what it means to me is we can reach out to people that we don't really see through the other 11 months of the year, because we do Black History 24/7, 365. Black History Month is just a bonus for us to then go and engage with people that, dare I say it, only see themselves as black through the month of October. But by the time we get to them and deal with them and all the rest of it, then it becomes natural to them to want to learn more about their themselves. So yeah, Black History Month is very important.
And I've been saying a few quotes throughout the show today. Do you have any favourite quotes?
Yes, one of my very favourite quotes is an African proverb. All of the countries within the continent of Africa have their own version of it. Some countries have tried to claim it, but I'm not looking at it. I'm just looking at the quote. And the quote is, "Until the lion tells his side of the story, the tale of the hunt will always glorify the hunter." Which means basically, if you leave somebody else to tell your story, they're going to do it in their favour. I think it was Winston Churchill that said, English history will be great. And the reason why it will be great is because I will write it. There you go. So that says everything to me in terms of we need to be telling our own story. There's one more quote as well from His Majesty Emperor Haile Selassie I. And he said, "Throughout history, it has been the inaction of those who could have acted, the indifferences of those who could have known better, and the silence of the voice of justice when it matters most that has made possible for evil to triumph." So basically, again, if we don't speak out on all of these things that are happening, we will just allow it to take place. So I live by those quotes all the time.
Really nice quotes.
One more quote.
No, go for
that
it.
My
Yeah,
mum always says to me, and it sticks with me, and I live by these words. Everything happens for a purpose, and nothing ever happens before the time. There you go.
Yeah, really good, those ones.
Yeah.
Really good. In our history, we have, I will call them legends or famous people that everyone will know of, which is Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Rosa Parks, for example. But who in our history has inspired you?
It has to be. It can only be just the one man, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Because when you look at what he achieved without the help of Facebook and Twitter and LinkedIn and all the rest of it, he had 11 million members on the UNIA all over the world. He had 1,115, I think it was, offices all over the world. And he did this without, like I said, social network and all that type of stuff. He published a paper that was banned in many countries in the world, but still managed to get that there. And the Negro World, the paper was called, which was phenomenal at that time. He had businesses left, right and centre, and his legacy still lives on today because groups such as the Nation of Islam follow that doctrine, the black print, as we call it, that he left back to do what they're doing now. So yeah, it's got to be Marcus Mosiah Garvey, most definitely.
And is there anyone else? He's not your number one, but is there anyone else?
There's quite a few. Malcolm X has inspired me. The Honourable Minister Louis Farrakhan has inspired me in the way he teaches and the information that he gives out, and the way he puts things in layman's terms so it's understandable for everybody. What's her name? Ida B. Wells. She's very inspirational because she came to England to protest about the lynching that was going on in the Americas when she saw one of her friends get lynched. And very inspirational. There's so many I could name out, but we're going to need another show for that.
I think so too. And as you are on Colourful Radio, black music was important for the different periods of time, just because it enabled them to express themselves and tell their story. What does music mean to you, and what genre music do you like?
Right, so I'm a musician.
Oh, are you?
Yeah, okay. First and foremost. Next time I come, I'll bring you some tracks.
Okay.
Yeah. Music is everything for me. Music is what started me on this journey. So I think it was either 1977 or 1978, I heard a track by Gregory Isaacs called Border. And that changed my life. Because there is a line in it where he says, Africa we need to go, or Africa we want to go. And I'm thinking, why are you talking about Africa when you're from Jamaica? You're a Jamaican, you ain't got nothing to do with African. And then from there, the people that my social circle that I was with, I was only a young boy at that time, but it changed my life completely because my uncle had a sound system. I always used to go around with the sound system. There was bigger men in the sound system, and they schooled me exactly what that meant and where we were from. And the rest is history, as they say.
That's amazing. But again, that was music. It was a line of music that made you question something, then you to seek more information, and here you are today.
Yeah.
The music is powerful. Music with meaning sure is powerful.
Sorry, you said what genres of music? All genres of music. All music is African music.
And it is indeed.
Yes, most definitely.
Oh, Mark, I literally could speak to you all day. I really could, especially in regards to information about who we were pre-slavery. But again, that is probably for another show. And if anyone wants to find out more information about you and what you do, where can they go? Right,
so our website is www.blackhistorystudies.com. Let me just spell that out. BLACKHISTORYSTUDIES.com. Initially, that's where you go. If you want to email us, it's info@blackhistorystudies.com. Landline is 0208 881 0660. That's 0208 881 0660, and the mobile is 07951.
You're really doing mobile.
07951 234 233.
You literally just gave everything, Mark.
Yeah, so there's no excuses now. They can get in touch with me.
There is no excuses. Mark, again, thank you very much. Everyone at home, thank you very much for listening. I hope you've been able to take something away from today's show, and you are able to go into further self-exploration in regards to your own self-awareness and knowing yourself and knowing your history in order to know yourself. As usual, it's been fabulous. And I will see you the same time, same place next week. Have a beautiful day. And I'm going to leave you with Mali music, Royalty. I think that's quite fitting, don't you think?
Most definitely.
Yeah. See you later.